And again, things are shifting as I come into greater rapport with my inner being, my inner awareness. I receive guidance that is like an embrace, gently encouraging. It's like training wheels on a bike. It allows a little bit of wobbling, but catches you if you go too far. It's hard to know what too far is because sometimes we need to go beyond our limits. Sometimes we need to see what is beyond the walls that we've erected around ourselves. I myself feel a lot of claustrophobia. I feel things are far too restrictive and rigid, unyielding, boring, dead. When I walk around my town, I feel sad that the design of things is so ugly, boring, that's on top of the fact that the people are often ugly and boring as well. It seems that the environment and the people end up conforming. I'm not sure if this is intentional or not. Part of me thinks that it is intentional when I know that this city was essentially founded by Freemasons and they've had a presence here ever since. Surely these supposed giants among men with great wisdom over a couple hundred years could design a city that in this modern age was much more beautiful and highly functioning. Their fingerprints are all over the place. But I don't get the sense that their intention was beauty or function. I believe that their mindset and their approach is a Luciferian one. or perhaps harmonic, maybe a combination of both. It's difficult to sort out the mindset of such people. I think it's confused and chaotic. But I have intentionally avoided looking into it too much. I've done that in the past, but I realized that focusing in that direction was not beneficial for me. I think I'm too susceptible in some ways of taking on other things, and too psychically adept to just focus in a direction without a clear purpose. Focusing in those directions for me can end up causing me to align with those negative intents and start seeing humanity as some parasite. Just start looking down my nose at people. This is something that I need to guard against. It's too easy. I feel that message has been sewn into our consciousness to hate each other. And it's easy when the media, many things have shown us the worst side of people. But we don't really get the backstory that would give us compassion. The backstory is unexpressed. This is what I feel I pick up on. Much of the backstory of the human suffering I believe I am sensitive to. Earlier in my life, I internalized that and didn't know how to separate from it. I took it as my own emotion. And I just felt this injustice. I felt this cruelty. I think it's important to bring these things to light. This is the collective shadow that needs to be healed desperately. In this end time that we're in, the end of one age and the beginning of another, we need to atone for these sins. We need to resolve the past. We need to let go of it by having it resolved. All the generations that suffered without ever their voice being heard, their hopes, their dreams, their struggles, their passions, just gone. Never known and never recorded. They themselves not even feeling like they could express themselves. No outlet, no context. Pure mental slavery, essentially. And we have the opportunity to come out of that and to have a sort of reckoning. There are some of us who can hear those ancestors' voices. And some of us suffer because we hear those voices, but we don't know what to do. There's some of us that hear the voices of the animals, the plants, the earth itself. All of these voices that need recognition because they are part of our collective consciousness. And we cannot go forward without dealing with the baggage that we're dragging behind. There's a push, there's a huge push to just plow forward into this technocratic society that will just sanitize everything and deaden the world. We must refuse to go into that future. We must choose the future that recognizes the sins of the past without blaming the innocent. It's not about blame. It's about feeling. It's about witnessing. It's about atonement. I don't feel like I can celebrate any of the progress that would be worth celebrating. New technologies that might clean up this or make this easier or be entertaining, or I don't feel I can celebrate that until there's been a recognition of the sins of the past and even the present, what is still going on. I think for me this is, I think probably for everyone, to see things continuing to go on. Governments ruled by the worst kind of people. Corruption, controlled media, censorship, crony capitalism. All these things that continue to persist. Without any kind of atonement, any kind of recognition of the destructive nature of it, makes me want to dig my heels in and say, no, I'm not moving forward. I'm not accepting this futuristic world that you're promising will be the solution to all our problems. I don't trust those people at all. Not one bit. Because they will take everything. They'll take, for example, indigenous land rights and weaponize that, co-opt it, exploit it, turn it around for their benefit. I think it's impossible for them to do anything good and useful. Everything they touch is evil, turns to shit. The entire system needs to be revised. Money out of politics, no corporations. Businesses always should have a person accountable, not one that can be fired and clean the hands of that corporation. Corporations should not be able to get as big as they are and as powerful as they are. The people that live in an area should get to decide what happens. And there's no way that people should have so much wealth that they're able to have houses that they don't live in. Especially 10,000 square foot houses. There's so much wrong with this world. And if we don't course correct right now, it's going to get worse. We cannot just bypass all of the dysfunction, the pain, and the hurt. It must be felt. It must be recognized. It must be witnessed. Only when the old systems have been dismantled fully can we move forward. We need an organic, natural system. We need a system in line with nature. We've been pushing forward with an attitude of domination and control. That is a dead end. How do we stop this machine? By finding the power within ourselves. By not complying. by not participating, by saying no. Each one of us. Turning inwards. Finding what we need there instead of falling for the government carrot and stick. We must be strong enough in ourselves to say no. No, I will not comply. No, I will not participate. It's difficult because we're so used to being dependent. We're trained. We have been for generations. Not to rely on our instinct like animals. Not to be in tune with nature, with the universe. But to rely on a parental figure to keep us safe and provide for us. We live as slaves, mostly because we don't have our own mind, our own awareness, our own consciousness. It's been injected and infiltrated by programs, agendas of a small number of people, of dynastic families that have been enslaving and controlling humanity for hundreds and hundreds of years. And in a way, it's our own fault. In a way, it's just the path of what it is. However, we've come to a place now where we can change it. We can wake up from it, and we should. Beyond this point is hell. If we don't wake up. And if we do, heaven. The realization that we have the power within us, the safety, security, and abundance are all within us. It may be difficult to see that if we've never attempted to tap into it. But that's what we must do now. We must start practicing connecting inward. Listening within. Sacrificing the things of this world that take our time and distract us, that take our energy. Sacrifice Twitter. Sacrifice YouTube. Sacrifice going to the mall, going to movies, going to the bar. Sacrifice all of that. For time with your inner self, for time in silence. for time reclaiming your power, your consciousness. Practice letting go of the world. It's never really satisfied anyways. There's nothing in the world that you truly want. Everything you truly want is inside of you. And yes, you do want to bring that out into the world. And that's what the world needs. The world needs you to connect with it and bring it forth. And that's how the world changes. Not by doing more of the same. Not by dressing up the old paradigm with new glitter and flashing lights. We need a paradigm of the heart. We need a paradigm of returning to what is truly human, so that we can bring what is truly human into a future that can include amazing technology. But we can't lose our heart in the process. We mustn't. Because if we do, we won't be aware that we've lost our mind.